the United States of America, President Barack Obama.
Good to see you. I just want to say everybody back home, right back at you. We appreciate you. You always give us straight talk.
Who's that guy in your house? And welcome to Straight Talk. Who's that guy in your house?
Having a conversation before we get started. Well, it's WL in the house.
That guy is Deyon Dean.
Yes,
Deyon Dean.
All right, W.
Deyon Dean is my guest today, and you're going to do your show afterward, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we are trying to get across to the people that he is the politician that we need in a position. You know, all politicians don't know their position in the world of America. I would say the whole world, because each country has its own constitution. Our constitution says that a person who is elected to any office is a public servant.
Yes, sir.
But the people that we elect in Illinois, I can't talk about any other state, but the people we work in Illinois, elect in Illinois, most of them thinks that they're some big shot in charge, and they don't pay any respect at all to the public. And the people that they have the power to employ to work for us, like serve and protect, they don't know their position. They think that they're supposed to come out and bully the people and push them around, and I'm the police. Yeah, but you work for me, police.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I had to fire a lot of policemen when I was a police chief because of their actions. They refused to acknowledge the fact that they are just public servants, and that's what has to happen in Chicago. That's what has to happen in Cook County, in the state of Illinois. All police officers must learn that they are servants of the people.
Yes, they are. Well,
your position you're running for is...
Well, let me just say, first of all, I think that you are 100% correct. We, as elected officials, are public servants. Right. And it really should be that title, just public servants. We should take the elected official stuff. I think the elected official thing puts a little bit more of a crown on one's head to make them feel
official,
like they're extremely important. We're public servants. We are to serve the people. We are to serve the concerns and the issues of the people. And we are individuals who should know what those issues are. But on top of that, to just add to what you're saying, W, right now, today's time, that change is coming into Chicago. And I want to really say it starts with right now what we did when the city of Chicago elected Mayor Lightfoot.
Lori
Lightfoot. She is doing, to me, a good job. I mean, of course, you have to get in there and you have to learn the job. If you've never been somewhere, you got to learn the perimeters and learn what's going on, the ins and outs of what's happening, what has already been in place, and what you think should be changed. And I think she's doing an excellent, she's looking at the full picture, and she's moving the way it should be done.
Right.
And I think that's
I even heard her say, I'm sorry.
Wait, no, I just think that that's being a public servant. I think that she's doing the right things in order to get things in play. A lot of people, you know, they rush people to get things done. As soon as they get in there, oh, she ain't doing this or she ain't doing that. No, it takes time, because things have been in place and embedded for so long. You can't just go in right away and change it. You have to have a plan in place. And I think that's what she's doing, and I think that's what public servants should do. Assess the situation and make sure that you're moving in a way that it's not going to just really mess up things.
You know, for instance, like these people who are fixing the streets of Chicago, they fixed them just enough for you to be able to drive over them for 3 or 4 months. Then you got a hole again.
Right, exactly.
And you get so many holes, that whole street has to be torn up again.
They're just patching it up, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, and
you know, they're not patching it properly, because they tear up the whole streets and then patch.
Well, everything is about contracts and money.
Right.
So if you got, you know, those companies that come in and sell the city or the town, you know, asphalt to cover up the little patches and different things. We already know there's a Band-Aid. We know in 2 days that same hole they filled in is going to be right back in the condition that it was a week ago. You know, so it takes time, but what we should do is we should be trying to make sure that we fix it. Like you're saying, we should fix the problem, get it done, move on.
Make sure that
Yeah.
make sure that the people that you employ or that you contract with get superior material to fix the streets. How come the city of Chicago, state of Illinois, basically in Indiana, that I know of, streets don't last a year upon being fixed, upon being repaired.
Exactly.
Other states, other cities I know, never have to have repairs because they got material that's going to last.
I mean, and that's how it goes. But Doug, what I'd like to talk a little bit about is what you said in the beginning of the conversation, public servants. And I believe what we're seeing today, and the reason why, and let me just back up a little bit. I'm 51. I've been a public servant, actually in the seat of a public servant for 26 years. As a trustee, which are aldermen, if people don't know what a trustee is in a village, and also a mayor. And, you know, my take on it has always been listen to the people, but before you even do that and you run for this position, know why you're running. Most of the people today, the reason why they run for these, I'm not, let me take that back. I'm not going to say most, I'm going to say several people run because they want to be important. They think that this is a job that's going to put them around all the important people. They're going to get to take the nice photos. They're going to go to the nice dinners and different things like that. That makes no difference in the community. The community will still be in the same condition from the day that they sit in that seat.
Right.
We need to start electing people who are not selected, but people who are out here showing that they want to be elected for the people.
But they call themselves whipping you because you did not adhere to that standard.
Yes.
So they got together and put together enough money and enough corruption to get you out of office.
Of course.
I saw it up close and personal.
Yeah, I mean, well, my main thing was, first of all, I believe, you know, our towns are too small to be just, you know, having a mindset of saying just Riverdale, Riverdale. We got Dalton next door, we got Harvey next door. So one of the things I did as one of the youngest mayors, I would think that has taken a seat in the South Suburban area when I was elected, is that I said the mayors have to come together.
Right.
In order for us to truly benefit our own personal communities in which we've taken a seat to be public servants, we got to work together. So when we go talk to the county people, when we go talk to our senators and state representatives, we got to have a plan, because everything can't come in Riverdale, everything can't go to Dalton, everything can't go to South Holland, everything can't go to Markham, but we all can get something. So if we sit down and we look at that map and say, this is where we're centralized in the different areas, what would benefit, because you got to look at the makeup of your community. What will Riverdale, what would benefit Riverdale? Riverdale is a unique community. It's only a so many square mile radius. It's only got so much space. What can we get here in this town? And then Harvey can get something else, because they're a different makeup on how they're shaped, and we can all benefit one another. These are the things I was trying to do when I became mayor. Certain people didn't like that, because that means we got to change the game on who already getting contracts, who's already doing this, that, and the other. When I came in, it was like I got a million phone calls. This is who you need to go get for your insurance for the village. This is who you need to go call. But, you know, they was really telling me who I should get, instead of letting me sit back and really take a look at that. And then some of them I did hire. Some of them I got rid of very quickly as well. But I think, again, like you said, they came at me because they felt, hey, this guy's trying to do his own thing. I wasn't trying to disrespect any higher level of elected people, I would say committeemen or anything like that, because I've worked with many of them, you know, before I became the mayor, many of them while I was a trustee, and many of them before I actually became an elected official. I worked with them. But my thing is, when I become a public figure for a position, I need to take a look at it for myself.
From a perspective
of truth. Exactly. And that's what I've done. And so that bothers some people. It bothers
a whole lot of
right. Exactly. But right now, today, you know, as you know, I'm running for water reclamation. And just recently on Friday, you and I want to thank you, first of all, for coming out. You actually came out to see me speak before all the committeemen in the city and also from the South Suburban areas to speak to why I wanted to run for water reclamation. Now, I'm going to tell you, I was not going to go, Doug. for our viewers, I call him Dub because he's a very good friend of mine. I know with WL, because I felt like they already knew what they were going to do. The plan was already in motion as to who they wanted to select and who they were going to slate for the Democratic Party. Now, I've been a lifelong Democrat, and I believe in a lot of values of the Democratic, values.
Have they made the choice already?
Yeah, they made their choice. They actually, this is the weird thing about it. I went before them, I spoke, I gave them a reason, and I want the people and the viewing people to know why I'm running first, and then I'm going to hit that issue.
Okay.
The reason why I'm running is because there is truly a need. The seat that I'm going after was once, well, let's put it this way. The seats are open. There are 3 seats. But the seat that I was looking at was Tim Bradford. He was the commissioner for water reclamation. He lived in the South Suburban area. He was the township supervisor, and he was a committeeman. But he did a very, very good job. And I looked at him for many years. In some ways, he was a mentor to me. And when I saw that void, I said, we got to get somebody back from the South Suburb who has as much care as he had in that position. And not only did he care for the South Suburb, he cared for Chicago and the entire Cook County, the greater Cook County. So he did a good
But he
job.
didn't leave himself out.
Yeah, he didn't just say it's just about the South Suburb. He worked for all areas, Chicago and Cook County. So when he passed away, you remember last year we were bringing people on and they were trying to get the seat, and it was a write-in candidacy for it. So in the South Suburban area and Chicago, we had so many of our people who were going after that seat because they felt the same way. They felt like we should have that seat. It should be in the South, far South and South Suburban area. But what happened was, instead of us sitting down and communicating and saying who would be the best candidate, who should we get behind, all these write-in candidates split the votes up. They split it up because they had to be write-ins. So they all got split up. A gentleman from Evanston, Illinois, ended up getting the seat because out here we couldn't get it together. Oh, now, when we talk about the greater Cook County, we talk about every single area should be represented. Am I correct?
Right. And plus, before you continue, while this is still hot, those people who crowded that
the write-in
candidacy in the South Suburban area were chosen and told to do that in order to give this North Side guy.
You know what? I don't want. I would hope to not believe. I don't want to believe that. But then some of the strangest and darndest things have happened in politics. So I don't want to say that it's not true. But I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that everyone that ran for that office ran because they wanted to get in the seat and make a difference. Because I don't know. I know a few of them. But
when you know that you are going to split the vote, that probably can catapult you into that position from the South Suburban area, and you split up those votes because all of you are from that area.
It's bound.
You got sense enough to know that you cannot win the damn election. I'm saying, those people cannot bullshit me.
Yeah, definitely can't bullshit you. You've been around too many of them. You've been around too many of them.
I've been a politician in the city. I was a precinct captain under Richard J. Daley. Okay, and I know how to function. I know how to act.
And the reason why they put people into races.
And that's why I left the party. I left that position as a precinct captain because, hey, I'm not going to follow this trend, of pushing people into a position that are not qualified. It's not qualified for it. Correct. But they wanted to put this person in there because they can control an unqualified individual.
Correct. Well, I just, like I say, I would hope that, this person, even the person that got this, has the seat at this point in time, wanted to do a job. But I want to say we have 6 commissioners for water reclamation. And again, all areas should be covered. And I think it should be covered by people who live in those areas. And know those areas, know the issues and the concerns of those areas. And I want to tell the people that's the reason why I'm running. I'm running because I want to fill a void in the South Suburban area that we're now having. Our area from the far south to the South Suburban area is one of the biggest flooding areas in the state of Illinois and Cook County. We have water issues, we have lead in our water, we have materials in our water. All these things are going on right now today. I mean, right now I've read about different companies that have dumped materials into the water that are causing death to the fish. And if it's causing death to the fish, eventually it would get to the human being. And so these issues are happening. But if you don't live in the area, and let me say this, we do have commissioners who pop in and they see what's going on and then they pop out and they go back and live in their neighborhoods. I believe we need someone right here in the South Suburban area or the further south area of the city of Chicago and South Suburban area that lives here, who knows what's going on. And I think that I'm that person. And I think that I'll do a good job. I think because of my having an opportunity to be a public servant for 26 years and working on all levels, from the governor all the way down to our youth commission, park districts, all those people, I know what's going on. I have a gauge on our community. And I think it's very important that we put someone there that can really work with the individuals out here and work on those issues. And I think, again, I'm that individual that can make that happen. I think it's fair that the county, I really, when I went to the slating process and I found out that even if it wasn't me and it would have been someone else from the South Suburb, I might have a different taste in my mouth right now. But right now I have a bad taste because I'm like, they didn't even get someone else. If they didn't want Deyon Dean, they should have got someone else that they could have slated to cover this area. If you talk about the greater Cook County and covering all territory, make sure someone's coming from our area. And so now that's why I'm running. I'm moving forward. I'm going to work very hard. I'm going to roll my sleeves up. You know how I work, W.
Yes,
Just
yes.
try and make some things happen and be a good commissioner for Cook County at large and the South Suburban area. So that's what I want to do.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. If all of our people in the South Suburban area had, if they know of you,
Yes, they do.
they know of if they all vote for you, then maybe, we could change that paradigm.
Look, it was very funny. I stood there before them and I looked in the audience, right? Many of the people that sat in that audience today who hold very important positions, I work with. I've supported them. I've supported their cause, things that they've brought to the forefront to try and better the community. I've gotten behind them and stood with them to see to it that those things are being done in our communities. And they know me. So that's one of the things that bother me, because I'm like, they know me. They know that I'm about trying to get things done in a positive way for our community. But I'm okay, because I want the people to put me in.
Right.
I want
Absolutely.
the people to put me in office. And so I'm asking the people to stand with me today and make me their candidate for the water reclamation of Cook County to cover the South Suburban area, but most of all for Chicago and the total Cook County area as well.
In other words, this is a primary vote coming up.
This is a primary vote coming up, so we're going to need them. But more importantly, what we got to go through first, W, is we got to get through petition drive. And that's coming up on September 4th. And I'm going to need their support. Not only me, we're going to need the people that they've slated, but also those who are still continuing to run for other positions that weren't slated. We're going to be coming out and asking people, yourself and others, to sign our petitions to help us get on the ballot. And I want to just stress this very importantly. I know that individuals have been slated. I know they're going to be pushed by the Democratic Party, by the Republican, whatever party that they're behind. We need to put others in as well, because the people deserve choice.
Right.
And that gives us an opportunity. Once you allow us to get on that ballot, it gives us an opportunity to come around and speak to them as to what our core values are and what we're about and what we want to do for the community.
Absolutely. And that's what we need to do, is to understand that you should not vote for a party. You should vote for the person. Vote for the person that's going to serve your needs. If you vote for the party, you're voting for chaos. Utter chaos.
I believe.
I think what we got to
Right.
do, we got to get rid of that party stuff and just have people running for election. Okay? You could have people running for election, just people running for election. What party are you with? I'm for the People Party.
Right. There should be a People's Party. But
People of Chicago.
The thing about the party thing is, people have different values, and that's what this party situation is all about. They want to say the Democrats have a different value than the Republicans. But at the end of the day, people are people. And at the end of the day, every person should have a right to stand before people and speak to why they want to be a public servant of the people.
And that was a very good point, too,
Yeah.
because Democrats have one value and the Republicans have another value.
Yeah, they do. I've been raised Democrat. I'm a Democrat.
So am
but,
I.
And at the end of the day, I want the people to understand I'm a Democrat. But if you're going to vote for me and support me for the values that I'm going to do for you and for our community. Support me in what I'm saying when I have that opportunity as an actual candidate by you guys helping me get on the ballot to be able to share with you why I want to be the next water rec commissioner. I mean, don't do it because just somebody say this is who we're pushing, this is who we're pushing, this is who we... And the reason why I say that, W, is because if you look out your door right now, a lot of people have been pushed that we voted for and we put in office, but our community still look the same.
Right.
We still got dilapidated homes. We still have potholes in our street. We still got no businesses. We got a desert in our community as it pertains to viable business in some of our communities. I mean, let's stop just looking at, oh, this is who they say get behind, and start getting behind people who are going to say the right things.
Look at what that person got that they got behind. Look at what he did to the community, for the community.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason why I'm running, man. But you know, I could talk all day. Being a public servant, I love to let people know what I want to do. I'm very passionate about it, and I just want to thank you, W, because you have been, after I left the mayoralship, ran for mayor again, went through some of the little turbulence that we've gone through and going through as far as that position. You have stood with me, and I think that people need to know that is much value in mentors, and you have been a mentor to me for many years. We met a long time ago, and I think the very first time I told you, I said, I've been watching you. You remember
the marina?
Yeah, in the marina. I told
right.
you, I said, I've been watching you. You've been a mentor of mine from afar, but you took every method and every moment after that to just bring me into the fold and teach me what you knew, because I really think that people miss the boat on the fact that if you've been here, like you said, you've been around politicians, you've been around for a while. Even though you only, what are you, 21? 28 years old. You've been around. You've seen how this situation and how these games are being played out here. And you could pick up on a good person that can make a difference than someone else. And I think that it's power in me connecting with you and getting mentorship from you. And the power is helping me to become a better public servant of the people.
That's beautiful. And that's what we all need. We need we need to take a break.
You got to take a break.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope you're listening to what our future Water Reclamation Commissioner is saying, because he's talking about real stuff, not fictional. The average politicians talk to you about fictitious stuff that makes it sounds good to you. Sound like they're doing something for the community. Look around your community and see if they did it or if they followed through with that. And you'll see the difference between a servant and an official. We'll be right back after these messages. Tropical World. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your pet shop.
No, I'm scared. I mean, you're so
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just
Please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Why? Why?
Why are you following me?
Why my hoodie make me look suspicious?
Why does my music make me dangerous?
Why are people that are supposed to protect me attacking me?
Why are you afraid of me? Why do you think I'm dangerous?
Why do I afraid of people who are supposed to protect me?
Why can't I make a peace sign without you labeling a gang sign?
Why does standing your ground only work when I'm on the ground?
Why do you show this photo over this one?
Why do you only stop and frisk me?
Why do you have low expectations for me?
Why can't I run down the street without causing alarms?
Why do you think I'm a thug?
Why do you assume I'm armed?
Why can I breathe?
Why is my mom scared every time I leave the house?
Why are you targeting me?
Why am I a target? Why?
Why? Why? I know why.
And it has to stop.
It must stop.
Because I have dreams. Because I can change the world.
Because I'll make a difference.
Because I have a family.
Because I am strong.
Because I'm talented.
I have a voice.
I can find a cure.
I have goals.
I can lead the country.
I am determined.
I have a future.
Because I'm a scholar.
I am powerful.
I'm someone's friend.
I'm someone's brother.
I'm someone's son.
Someone loves me.
And because my life matters too.
My life matters.
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 Our lives matter.
And so did theirs.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's up? What's happening today?
Let's do those pearly whites, man.
Yeah! The boys, check it out.
Stand up, do my terrorists, don't compare us. Go!
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to try?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing. And it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Stoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees.
What's it like working with your family? Good question.
Right, great question.
Original Soul Vegetarian was established over 38 years ago from our parents, so we're second generation owners.
Back then in the 80s, nobody knew what vegan looked like.
But if you say, oh, this is barbecue, they'll eat it and say, oh, it's good.
Original Soul Vegetarian has been an anchor in this community. At least 90% of our clientele aren't vegans.
It has helped the community a lot with being aware of healthy eating and healthier options.
Most of everything that we sell is sourced locally, and it's all made in-house because it's just not about food for us. Your health is your wealth. Just add something healthy to what you're eating. You're gonna feel better.
We're back, and we're talking about what is happening to our country, what is happening to our cities and our states, and what are our politicians doing to serve us. Mr. Dean?
Well, I want to say that we do have
some good politicians.
We got some good politicians, but then we got
one who was just elected.
Yeah.
Lori Lightfoot.
Lori Lightfoot.
She said something that really touched my heart when she said, why would you put a boot on a person's car for a ticket and he is sitting in front of his house, just sitting there? It means he doesn't have money to drive. Find out what's happening. You know, I'm not using her exact words, but she, you know, I read between the lines. You shouldn't put a person in that kind of good position and then come by and put a boot on his car and have it towed.
Right.
The person doesn't have the money to pay for a ticket, doesn't have the money to pay for a city plate. It's some problem that maybe we can help him with.
Right.
So she said it was absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I think what she's doing is right, as far as taking a look at the policies that are in place, because some of them are simply to make money.
Right.
Some of them are simply to enrich different companies and people who have, you know, connections with those companies. And we need to take a look at that because we don't want to put people in poverty-stricken situations. We want to help them get out of it.
Right.
And I think what she's speaking to is to help them get out of it because, yeah, of course, some people are chronic breakers of the law. They will park anywhere, they will speed or whatever, and go through red lights and all these different things. And some of people do deserve it, but the majority
and putting other citizens in danger.
Yeah, putting other citizens. But some people, but the majority of the people are not those people. So we do need to take a look at the system. We do need to take a look at them in every single town. These red light things we have in the different towns. We definitely need to take a look at those things because
speed cameras.
The speed cameras. You know, a lot of people are getting tickets from that, and they shouldn't. You know, it's like we need to do an overall look at it, and I think that's what the mayor of Chicago is doing, and I think it's a prime example that all of us can be following. I know that there's some things and some little bleeps that she's made that have angered some people lately, but, you know, I think she's on a good path, and I think it's the right path. Myself, again, with me running, I want to be on that path too. My path is to see to it that issues are going to be dealt with. That, you know, I looked up the Water Reclamation W on some of the projects that they're working on for the South, far South, in the South suburban area. All of them said ongoing. I want to say to our people, when I get in there, I want to see that ongoing statement on the website. If you go on and you say what type of projects are going on in the South suburban and the far South, or even the county itself, ongoing to me is not going. We need to be going, and then we need to see completion. We need to see those projects come to completion. So that's what I want to work on, and that's what I want to do when I become the water rec. And I want to help other elected officials in other areas in partnership on how we can work with them as well.
And I agree that you have the ability and you have the sentiment and of the people, but you also have the temperament to do exactly what we're talking about, serve the people.
Yes.
And that's to me, that's very important to me.
Yes.
I want to see that happen because, like I say, I still consider myself a politician.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the Democrat do some great things.
Yes.
I haven't seen that recently.
Right.
You know, And I want to see I want to see my party do that. I saw my party kick out a man in the governor's race, in the governor's position, who was attempting to help black people. He was attempting to help black people. He didn't sign the budget because there was a PLA in there. The PLA was holding back black contractors because the PLA said you can't form a coalition of people, 3 or 4 companies, to bid on a contract.
Okay.
Because it's a $500 million contract. So you got to have the capacity to bid on that contract. So,
but let me say, W, I really right now want to say, you know, I was looking at the fact because I'm a very huge supporter of our current governor. And, you know, obviously, you know, we supported him and we've gotten out there and did a community initiatives to support him becoming the governor. But I would say he's on the right track too, because the reason why I say that is because everybody has to get in and take a look at the full picture of what's going on. And I think that he has. I think there's several things that this current governor, and I'm saying this on a for real side, and because he's doing it, it's an impact in a positive way for a lot of the communities in the state of Illinois. A lot of things that were set on the table, and unfortunately the governor before that couldn't get through for whatever reasons, party driven.
You know he couldn't get it, it was party.
Right, it's party driven. I mean, I understand that, but I want to say for the up-to-date time period right now, this governor is passing a lot of laws that are making a difference for the state of Illinois and for the betterment of the people of Illinois. I really do want to say that because I look at it, and believe me, if it wasn't, I would be hard on it. I would be like, no, you know, he can be doing this and he can be doing that. Now, there are some things I know he needs to address, and I think he's on the right path to doing that. I really do. I mean, you know, we can have all the questions.
I don't know. I got to see it pass.
You got to see it. I mean, just look at some of the laws that he's doing. So he's doing a good job, and I do want to give some credit to some of our state reps. They are pushing forward several different laws that they want to have passed, and some of them are getting passed. So we do see some motion going on, but we can still do better. And the better is as we elect people that come in, and a lot of these people that I see that are doing good things as elected officials are some of our newer people. So I'm saying we need to really keep looking at not just party, but looking at the individuals and putting the right people in that are going to get things done. That's where I'm at.
I want to see a law that says violence is a mental health problem, and they need to rebuild or reopen those mental health centers in Chicago. That's why we have so many shootings. A person in his right conscience just could not go around shooting people.
Correct.
So all this shooting is done by mentally ill individuals, and they need to be taken to a mental institution. Now they got to be taken to a mental institution because they're out of control. But when they had the mental health centers around the city of Chicago, they had some place to go and get anesthetized. So,
well, I mean, you are on the right track with that statement. Mental health is the biggest thing. And I remember we used to have them in certain sectors of our communities, and then all of a sudden they just started closing.
Right.
I mean, they were disappearing all over the place. Where do these people go to get help? They don't have a place. The only thing that, you know where they go to get help? Back to the drugs.
Right.
Back to the drinking. The habits that they had.
And back to the guns.
Back to the guns. I mean, and the thing about it, now they're speaking about mental health and passing these laws is because it's happening in more affluent communities now. Issues are happening in their territory.
Anthony Williams, our pastor, went there and asked him to create this law. And after talking with Speaker Madigan, he called in this John Ford and he called in Mendez, I think. She's the floor leader.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He called her in, and she called in LaShawn Ford to help her. And they came up with, they got the resolution drawn up.
Oh, wow.
But the governor is not pushing it yet. That's what I want. I want to see him. I want to see him push that bill.
Well, Governor, we want to see you push that mental health bill so that we can make sure some of these crimes in our community, not some of them, all of them, we can, you know, crime is always going to happen, but if we can get it to a level of just not seeing these mass murders and every single day there's shootings happening in our communities, man. This is just overbearing sometimes, you know. So it's a definite need for that. And I'm quite sure it will get to the governor's desk, and I'm quite sure he will do the right thing. I really do think that of this governor. And I know you're probably looking and saying, but I'm seeing things.
Yeah, what the hell are
you know,
you
what are you talking
about?
about? But I'm seeing things that I like as far as him really, it's not all about him, it's about the people of the state of Illinois. So I do like that, you know, but at the end of the day, we do need to push that mental health thing like as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. I mean, and get help for our people, and you'll see a lot of turnaround. You'll see a lot of people being able to go back to work. You'll see a lot of people being able to interact in their work environments, in their home environments. All that will be a better situation if we can get them help. And that's money needs to go toward that. The allocation of monies or whatever we're doing in the state of Illinois needs to go big time toward mental health issues.
Right. I'm not saying that the governor is not holding it back, because he's you know, when they put it before him, if they put it before him and he refuses to push it, then that's another thing. I don't know where it is right now. I know he got it done, but nothing's happened yet.
Well, I want to, you know, say to LaShawn Ford, the other state representatives that are on top of this, I want to give them kudos for it, because it's a need, and it's a definite need, because a lot of us don't react until it hit our front doors. A lot of us don't get involved until it hit our front doors. For them to be out front, and also Pastor Anthony Williams to be pushing it, and I know it's an unfortunate situation that happened in his life with his son being murdered, a couple of years ago, a year ago.
Yeah, within this year.
Within this year, you know, his son was murdered, so it's something up close and personal. But we don't want to have it where it takes that for us to be reactive, to act. I don't want to say reactive, to act. We need to act all the time, and we need to be putting things in place all the time that's going to better our communities. That's the type of public servants we need. We need people like LaShawn Ford that are proactive instead of being reactive. And right now, a lot of our situations, we're reactive. We're trying to get things in play, but while we're doing that, we still got all this other chaos still going on in the community. Then we got to get these gun laws in order too, everyone should have a right to own guns, but they need to be mentally sound. They need to be background checked to the most nth degree that you can get background checking today. I think there should be age limits. I think it should be based on how many you can get, who you can purchase guns for. You should have, you know, we should know who you're purchasing guns for. You know, and also we just need the federal government. Like, I know in our communities, these type of weapons that are coming to our communities don't get here because somebody purchased them. A lot of these guns that these young people are using in our community today, they're getting them from somewhere and it ain't legal. So I don't know if they're being dropped off from train. You know, a lot of people in a lot of shows I've been looking at, they say they drop those boxes on the side of the train tracks, and these kids are getting them. I don't know how that's going down.
Drop them on the side of the train track and
right.
Call those kids and tell them where they are.
And call them and tell them where they're at. If that's happening, I'm encouraging our elected officials, our Congress, and all those individuals to get on top of that.
Elected servants. Elected servants.
Elected servants. Public
Serve
servants.
the people. Get rid of that stuff.
You know, let's stop it. We have the ability to stop a lot of the mess that's going on. And I think that, you know, we work together and we put the right people in instead of selected people. If I bring you 10 people before you and say, these are the people we support, I want you to support them. And then we all just follow suit and support them. It's not the right thing to do.
No, it's not.
It's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to have people who are going to put themselves out there and ask for your vote, ask for your support, and then have a reason why they want to run and be in a position of a public servant to the people. That's what we need to do. And I think we'll get better candidates and better resolve and better things going on in our community.
And I think I've heard that Lori is also explaining to these aldermen what their positions are. Mm-hmm. It's to serve the people.
Exactly.
You know, you go to an alderman's office that we pay taxes. We pay through our taxes. We pay for that office to sit there in the ward. And they call it their office. No, that office belongs to the people who paid for it.
That's it.
Right. And you go by there to tell him something that you need him to do in the community to make the community better. And we don't see our constituents until on Thursdays. So you have to come on Thursday, make an appointment and come on Thursday, and you can see the alderman.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of stuff is that?
Well, I mean, scheduling is very important if they have things on their schedule. But at the end of the day, if you're in the office and you have, and we all know this, people kind of like.
My point is, just tell him, oh, the alderman's not available right now. He's not here. You know, or the alderman is, you know, he's got 5 people ahead of you or 10 people ahead of you.
Right.
And he has an appointment at certain time, so can you come back tomorrow, or can you, you know, don't tell him, oh no, the alderman doesn't see his constituents until Thursday. You know, now this is Friday, so you got to wait another whole week before you can tell him what your problem is.
Right. Right. Well, I think
or what you need him to do.
Right.
And see if it was passed away, you would say, wait, well, what the hell you tell him about an appointment? This man works for me.
Right.
I pay his salary. I want to see him today. I want to see him right now.
Well, I think, let me just say this, W, is that, you know, being a former mayor and elected official, you would have your office packed to the roof if you allowed everybody that want to come in and see you.
I would have them packed.
So, but let me just say this. But I do believe in the fact that if they do come in, that your people who are working for you should do their due diligence into finding out what that issue is. And if it's important enough, and if I'm in that office, and if it's something that should be addressed immediately, then I need to take time to make sure I meet with that person. Now, if they know my schedule's packed, and it's something that, you know, they want to talk about that's, you know, months away or whatever, and they could tell them, look, let me get your information, let me make sure you get on the schedule. Don't let me walk out without being scheduled or having an opportunity to know that I'm going to be able to speak with my public servant, the person that I help elect and put in office. But you can't let everybody come in. Everybody become, I do say that, everybody, you would be in your office 24/7 if you allowed everybody.
No, you got to be downtown. You got to be out of town. You don't have to be in the office.
Mm-hmm.
You could be downtown. You could be in your downtown office. You could be out on a mission for the community. You know, you could be in the place. I'm sorry, he's not here right this moment. Can I take a message, or can I deal with it in that manner?
Exactly.
Oh, the alderman doesn't see anybody until such and such a time. That's disrespectful to your superiors.
I would say that I would say the wording, if someone say that to you, is probably not the right thing to say, and I think the wording would be just similar to what you're saying. Find out what the situation is. He's in a meeting right now. Obviously, he's not going to leave his meeting. He or she is not going to leave the meeting right at that moment, or they're not there. Let me see this. Let me know your issue.
Right.
Have it tagged to,
so he can make arrangements
to make sure that he gets
right.
together. He or she gets together and be able to meet with you. So there's ways that can be done differently. But you know, some of them do have these positions, and they feel like I get with you when I want to get with you. No. That wasn't the case when you were asking me to vote for you. That wasn't the case when you was asking me to sign your petition to allow you to become a candidate. So I need you to be ready for me if I come in with an issue, because that's why we put you there, to deal with the situations in our community or in our whatever areas we're covering. So it's important to be available. It is. It definitely is. So I think, you know, again, I just want to tell the people, we have to start looking at not just putting people in because certain groups of people say that they should be the people that we should vote for. We need to sit down and we need to say, hey, no, we're not doing that. We're going to look at all the candidates that want to run. We're going to look at all their backgrounds. We're going to look at all the things that they're talking about to see what best fit for our community and our situation in this day and time. So that's what I encourage people to do. And I just want to say to you again, I'm running to fill a void for the South Suburban area, but I'm also running for the entire city of Chicago and Cook County to make a difference and work with the other commissioners so that we can see to it that all problems are being addressed. That's the reason why I'm running. But I also want to make sure that fairness is done. And the fairness is to elect an individual from the far south in the South Suburban area so there is coverage of someone living there and knowing the issues up close and personal.
Great. I agree with you 100%. Good dialogue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
And people, please understand, you got to elect a person who understands what his position is. Public servant. stop calling the people officials. They're public servants. When we get that out of the ether, I think we're going to have a much more smoother operation. Thank you very much. We'll see you this time again tomorrow.